Okay, Nick, I'm going to start off today by, of course, talking about a huge win that I had with our NCAA bracket.
Okay, here we go. The guy picks the favorite to win and somehow wants to take credit for picking the favorite.
Let me get one W here, okay? You have done very well in our picks, and I finally pick a champion, okay? So I'm going to highlight that at the start here that I picked UConn to win. They won the national championship. I have to say they look pretty good.
Yeah,
they look really good.
That's a dominant run, dominant team. But the tournament was fun. And shout out to the NC State Wolfpack, Uncle Eddie alumni.
Trav and Eddie, right?
Trav and Eddie went to the game in Arizona. Shout out to the Bells for making the run. And that was probably the funnest thing for me on the tournament was the Wolfpack's kind of little magical run there.
That was really nice. That's one thing I've never done in my life. I do think that maybe that's on our card, right?
We're going to have to add it.
Final Four?
Final Four.
We'll do that.
We're coming.
All right. The other thing we talked about was the Masters, right? We talked about that in one of our videos. I got to give you credit. You brought up Scottie Scheffler, right? The guy, again, we talked about the American dream, just wins golf tournaments. Guy never loses. I mean, it's crazy.
Was it too boring? Because, he won by too much. So, look, I'm not the golf guy. You're the golf guy.
Yeah.
Does golf need a villain? Do they need a bad guy? They need somebody to root against. Like, I hate this guy, but he wins because you're not rooting against Scottie Scheffler. He's too good of a dude.
I mean, you can't, right? I mean, he's too good of a dude. I think there was some narrative behind the Masters being a little bit boring. But, I mean, just watching it with the azaleas like we talked about, I don't think it was boring, but there wasn't very much drama there.
You need drama.
We did have a little bit of, DeChambeau with the live thing.
He could be the bad guy.
He could be the guy, right?
He could be the bad guy.
But you're only going to see him in major tournaments. So
right.
I think we did have a
You need like a
Masters
John Daly guy that's out there smoking heaters, slamming beers, and and just crushing the ball. Like, that's what golf needs.
We do need that. I just wanted to highlight the Masters. But, yeah, you may be right. This year was there was no real script, right? It was just kind of a nice, easy win by Scottie Scheffler. So maybe a little boring.
Hey, but baseball's here, and Major League Baseball is coming to SAC next year, dude.
The River Cats, right? Well, the Oakland Athletics are going to be in Sacramento. Did you see that? Did you see the owner's, press conference? He was talking about other teams hitting home runs instead of the Oakland A's.
He's lost, dude.
Lost.
Sell the team. But here's how I look at it. SAC gets to basically audition,
right?
For Major League Baseball. We got a Major League team here for at least 3 years. You got all the other players coming into town. It's just going to be really good for West Sac, for downtown, for that whole corridor. Super excited.
So we've talked about this transition from the Bay Area to Sacramento, right? And people are always like, oh, what can I do in Sacramento? Well, now we got everything. We got a professional basketball team, right? Kings unfortunately beat the Warriors, right? Me being a Warriors fan.
We were going to skip all over that.
Oh, yeah, we're skipping that. Okay. We'll talk about it, baby. Time. But, now the Oakland Athletics are going to debut or audition in West Sacramento. And, there's still some talks about maybe an MLS team that could be on the back burner. But what else do you want? The greatest place to live in California, Sacramento? Is it here?
Hey, it's not Oakland. All they do is lose teams. That's 0 for 3 for Oakland of the major 3, sports. That's rough.
That is true. But I think it's a huge win for Sacramento. I think it's a huge win for West Sac too. And also, we need a little bit more of that revitalized midtown, downtown. I think it's going to, bring a lot of people because you can walk across the bridge.
Develop that river walk down there, man. That's going to be huge.
I think it will be. Yeah. So I think you bring up a great point. I think it's a huge win for sports. And if you do want to talk about it, me and my son did attend that Kings-Warriors game. The environment was amazing.
It's not too late for Cooper, though. Like, he could be a Kings fan. He's going to grow born and raised in Sacramento. Like, give him a shot.
I don't know. I mean, the Steph Curry era still has a little bit of possibility.
It's the twilight, though.
I got to say that I do still love going to that arena. they're the best fans in the NBA. There's
Great
no doubt.
location, a lot to do, easy in and out.
Yeah.
They hit a home run.
There's
so much that goes on in April, right?
Yep.
You got Masters, baseball, but yet what still dominates is the NFL draft. Did you see in Detroit, there was like 2 million people, standing room only, to watch people get their name called and walk across stage?
Well, let's be honest, not a lot to do in Detroit, okay? But yeah, I mean,
NFL is still king, dude.
They are king. They are king. I mean, since we've been here last, and I wanted to highlight a little bit that I've been getting a lot of people who are interested in this, amazing YouTube podcast, whatever you want to call video. I mean, the last time we did this, I don't even know if I had a beard. I think now I have a beard. So we're going to give the people what Jalen Rose has said, give the people what they want. But you're right. The NFL is dominating right now.
Nice beard, bro.
Thank you.
Hey, the pick the Niners made.
Oh.
Slick Rick. Come on.
So let's talk about the instant text message that you sent to me, okay? People can Google whatever they want, but, you can look up some of his famous nicknames, but Niners couldn't have had a better pick,
dude,
right?
He put his name into Google, Ricky Pearsall, and the first thing that comes up is the coldest white boy in college football.
You said it.
Like, the highlights are unreal.
Yeah.
Like, at first I was like, we don't need a receiver. And then I watched about 2 minutes of YouTube and I was sold. I can't wait. He's going to be an instant fan favorite.
How many Slick Rick jerseys are there going to be?
Dude.
There's going to be a lot.
The guy, I'm ready. Niners had interesting draft and all, fit some needs. Even though wide receiver wasn't a need, we got that's more like a luxury pick. Maybe we're planning for the future. Who knows? What other guys do we get that stand out to you?
Well, I mean, I just like the overall depth of these picks, right? I mean, I think the Niners have been doing a really good job of lining up draft picks. They traded traded up a little bit to, address the offensive line, the secondary. Got a running back who looks like he runs like a 4.2, 4.3, 40.
Blazer.
I kind of like that. I think, they were even talking about that he could be like a fullback in the future. Got Guerrero is his name, a Kyle Juszczyk type of guy. So I don't know. I think the way I came out of this draft was there was a lot of Debo, Ayuk potential trade talk, but I think they're going all in. I think it's this year. We're trying to win again. We're not trading away players, and we got depth to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that would have been my hope, right? Going in is like, hey, let's give it one more really, really aggressive run with this group to see what we got. Let's go, Niners. We got this. This is our year.
Big year. So we got through the sports stuff. Check our next segment for some real estate talk.